So Rachel put this up like 10 hours ago. It's titled Exposing Everything with Screenshots. So let's check it out.
Gone on, so here we go. The first thing Hi everyone, welcome back. So today in this video we are going to talk about everything. We're going to get it all out and everyone will know exactly what's happened and what's gone on. So here we go. The first thing I need to do is just mention my previous video, which was a glitter and lasers reaction. When I filmed that, all of this stuff that's happened over the last 24 hours-ish hadn't happened yet. So that's why
I didn't watch that. Should I go watch that now?
I didn't address it in that video. And I absolutely
Why would you address that in a glitter and lasers video, though, anyway?
acknowledge that it was quite tone deaf to post that video and then not say anything because it looked like I was trying to move along and not address the stuff, which is not what's happening. So I'm sorry to all of my audience.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, so those of you who are not up to date, basically a Discord was like screenshots from conversations in the Discord came out. It's like Hecticana, Rachel, Jawbone, some other person, and a lot of people are not happy with the way Rachel specifically was coming off.
Who saw that video and was like, what the fuck, why are you not addressing this? That's what happened there, but I am addressing it now. So here we go. So my goal in this video is to basically just tell you everything I can possibly tell you, get it all out so you know exactly what there is to know, and then you can think about it and talk about it amongst yourselves in your communities and such, and everybody will know what happened, because that's the goal, right? So the first thing I'm going to cover is the deleted video. I'm going to just touch on this for 2 seconds. Basically, I got a privacy strike, which I suspect was from Emily, on this video here, which was my first ever Gorlworld video. There's pictures of Colleen, who is Amberlynn Reid's girlfriend.
I never watched that video. Why would Emily... Oh, okay, I see, okay.
Ex-girlfriend, not sure. Emily, her deceased fiance, Colleen, there's pictures of her in that video, so that video...
Alright, so back then, 10 months ago, you did a video literally calling out Emily for being this thing. This, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
Privacy striked. I think it was by Emily. I missed the emails because I'm a twat, and basically YouTube took that video down. So that's where it went. I'm currently arguing with an AI person, or fuck knows who I'm arguing with, in my email.
If it wasn't Emily, just the fact that you were talking about that subject matter, I don't know if that might have had something to do with it, and you're saying here that you actually, now I get, oh, it's gone. Okay, I'd like to go watch it and see if she spoke about, if she's saying she showed Colleen pictures and things of that nature, if she, and the thumbnail in itself, speaking about that subject matter.
About that video and trying to get it back up again, but for everybody who noticed,
that alone might have gotten it a strike.
Video went. I didn't check my Gmail because I'm stupid. I just went in my YouTube studio and saw the notification and was like, what the fuck? So that's the notification I'm pointing, because I think I'm going to put it there. Just so everybody knows. Twat. And basically YouTube took that video down. So that's where it went. I'm currently arguing with an AI person, or fuck knows who I'm arguing with, in my email about that video and trying to get it back up again, but for everybody who noticed, that's where that video went. I didn't check my Gmail because I'm stupid. I just went in my YouTube studio and saw the notification.
I heard, she's like, I didn't check my Gmail because I'm stupid.
And was like, what the fuck? So that's the notification.
Duh, I'm a ding-a-ling. Community guidelines removal. Your content, Amberlynn Reid is screwed, was removed for community guideline violation. Alright, who cares?
I'm pointing because I think I'm going to put it there.
Alright, where people may be like, hey, you took that video down. Like, what are you, sweet on Emily? Or was that some sort of agreement you had? Now, all I know is this. I don't know. Oh, okay, I see.
Everybody knows that's where that video went. I did not personally take that video down, and I'm trying to get it back up, so just so everybody knows. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the Discord. So we've had loads and loads of messages and people talking.
Alright, I need to slow it down for this, because I don't really care about that other shit. Let's listen
about
what you gotta say about this,
So it's absolutely true. There was a private Discord, which consisted of...
It was private. It was supposed to be private. I thought it was private. That's the real me, guys.
few people, and all of us trusted each other very well, and we were friends.
And, you know, we could be our real selves.
And we were all talking about Gorlworld related stuff. There was all kinds of stuff.
We saw the stuff. Go ahead, Rachel.
In that Discord, some very interesting, juicy tea, which still hasn't come out yet, just to be clear. So for everyone who's been wondering, I did not share everything I got at all.
What the who cares? Is that what she's concerned about? The tea? Don't worry, you guys. The juiciest tea I still have up my sleeve. Don't worry, guys. There's still a reason to watch me. Don't you worry, you guys. I've got more for you. What the hell? Alright, go ahead. Go ahead, Reid.
And some of that stuff went in that Discord. Everybody knows. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the Discord. So we've had loads and loads of messages and people talking about this Discord. So it's absolutely true. There was a private Discord, which consisted of a few people, and
was there a cut there?
All of us. Loads of messages and people talking about this Discord. So it's absolutely true. There was a private Discord, which consisted of a few people, and all of us trusted each other very well, and we were friends, and we were all talking about Gorlworld related stuff. There was all kinds of stuff in that Discord, some very interesting, juicy tea, which still hasn't come out yet, just to be clear. So for everyone who's been wondering, I did not share everything I got at all. And
that's weird to me that she's saying it like that. Who cares anymore? You're still hung up on
some of that stuff went in that Discord. That Discord was a place where we chatted like mates.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Like, I'm reading the captions and like looking around. I'm easily distracted. And I didn't realize she cut that cut, like the way it cuts, the way it edits together. It does that throughout.
I'm sure you've all got mates.
She does that
you
often.
Run your mouth with your mates in a way.
Can't you just talk and just say what you have to say? You have to do all
on your public YouTube channel. But of course, it got out, and everything that you guys have seen has been seen. So of course, as you guys all know, because you've all seen, somebody who was in that Discord has no fucking back.
Somebody
do on your public YouTube channel, but
is it Charlie Gold? Is it Charlie? Why don't you just say it?
Of course, it got out, and everything that you guys have seen has been seen. So of course, as you guys all know, because you've all seen, somebody who was in that Discord.
Somebody in that Discord was taking screenshots. Thank God.
Has no fucking backbone. Didn't want to tell me that they disagreed with my.
Oh, she's saying they don't have a fucking backbone because they. All right, this is this an apology video? I don't understand what. All right, see, now this is where someone has to tell me, because as I've stated before, I don't normally watch Rachel. The way she came off in the Discord, is that different than the way people see her or expect her to be because of her videos overall? Alright, because the way she's talking right here, she don't give a fuck.
And instead screenshotted a load of the Discord and sent those mates in a way that you wouldn't do on your public YouTube channel.
Alright, wait. I gotta hear this again.
Private Discord, which consisted of a few people, and all of us trusted each other very well, and we were friends, and we were all talking about Gorlworld related stuff. There was all kinds of stuff in that Discord, some very interesting, juicy tea, which still hasn't come out yet, just to be clear. So for everyone who's been wondering, I did not share everything I got at all. And some of that stuff,
because I'm not stupid,
went in that Discord. That Discord was a place.
I'm the smartest reactor of all. I'm a philosophy major, you know.
where we chatted like mates. I'm sure you've all got mates. You run your mouth with your mates in a way that you wouldn't do on your public YouTube channel. But of course, it got out, and everything that you guys have seen.
I ain't gonna speak for nobody but myself. I think there's work. People have different sides to their personality. So there might be the work version of them, you know, I've had 2 drinks, I'm 2 drinks in version of them, where they run their mouth a little more than they might normally. Like, most people have different sides to themselves that if you know them well, like, it's like, oh yeah, I know their bitchy side or this side, but for the most part, like, who do you represent yourself to be on this channel that your audience expects more? I mean, why weren't you just transparent from the get? Like, about the money thing. No, none of this would be happening. No one would give a shit. I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't be watching you right now.
Has been seen. So, of course, as you guys all know, because you've all seen, somebody who was in that Discord has no fucking...
I just want to know, are you in love with Emily?
...backbone, didn't want to tell me that they disagreed with my takes, and instead screenshotted a load of the Discord and sent those screenshots out. They then sent all of those screenshots to someone who then shared some of that.
Instead of telling me that they don't like my opinions, they showed you all the screenshots. I mean, I will say, you're the queen of receipts. Can you blame? Oh no, what did I do? Alright, we'll watch. No, I went back to it.
They then sent all of those screenshots.
Anyway, sorry about that. Fuck me. Low budget production. I'm definitely... Rachel, I will give it to you. You edit very well compared to me, but that, you know.
Didn't want to tell me that they disagreed with my takes, and instead...
Yeah, it's just kind of funny the way she's like, they could have just said they disagree with me, but instead, it's like, I don't know. I mean, listen, you're in Gorlworld. You're in Gorlworld, alright? It's just funny when, like, Gorlworld, we go, like, next level into, like, the reactors start having
screenshotted a load of the Discord.
This also wouldn't be happening if you had just been transparent about whatever agreement, arrangement that you made with your new girlfriend, Emily. Or, you know, just, yeah.
Those screenshots out. They then sent all of those screenshots to someone who then shared some of that stuff. That person did...
Oh, wait. So someone took the screenshots and then sent it to Charlie Gold? Alright. I gotta find... I'm not on Twitter. Is that where all the Discord is from Charlie? I was trying to find the original Discord.
Blur the face and name of some of the individuals in those screenshots who are not public figures, which I'm really angry about, because some of those people have all kinds of personal stuff going on in their lives. They don't want their faces and names to be made public, and yet they were. It takes 2 seconds to blur somebody's face.
Now, I will say, if you're part of a Discord and it's like a private, you know, like what Rachel said, like, you know, when you're with your friends that really know you and you talk the shit, whatever. If you're writing in the Discord and it's like, I don't expect anyone to see this, you know, except for the people in the Discord. It is kind of messed up that someone was taking screenshots. So it wasn't Charlie Gold who took the original screenshots, it's someone else, and they sent them to Charlie?
A screenshot. So I think that's really fucking poor, to be honest, if I'm being honest about it. But anyway, that's, you know, whatever, that happened. So the screenshots got out. The person who shared the screenshots, it will get out who that person was.
I want to know who it was. Dun dun dun. Tell us, Rachel. I'll watch that video.
And you will all be very surprised. I think I was very surprised, provided that I'm right about who I think it is, which I think I am, but obviously I won't say anything. And
is it Salty Crab? Is that what she's insinuating?
till I'm sure. But basically, that Discord was a bunch of people who I thought of as friends, mates, fellow creators who would chat and like spitball and bounce ideas off each other. A lot of sarcasm and stupidity was said in that chat. I am going to cover all that stuff. This is not me like sweeping it under the rug and saying a lot of stuff was said. I'm going to talk about what I said. Of course, we all knew there was a chance that it might end up being made public. Nobody thought that that would actually happen, but it did happen. So here we are. So this is the timeline of what happened, and then we'll talk a little bit about the plan for this video. So this person who was in the Discord sent a bunch of screenshots from the Discord to somebody else. That person then started tweeting those screenshots and putting them into their own Discord. So that's how that all got out. Then Geordie went live last night, and I haven't actually watched this live stream, by the way. I'm filming this on the morning of Monday, whatever it is, Monday the, can't see the date, 3rd of November. I haven't watched Amber's live, I haven't watched Geordie's live, but Geordie went live, shared this clip.
All right, now you sound like Amber. I wasn't watching. Because I watched, Amberlynn went live again, like 1 in the morning. I don't know, I woke up at an odd hour and saw, and was going to react to that. I think it's titled, what the hell is it titled? Oh, something that everyone was making fun of. Fuck, it'll come to me 10 minutes from now. And I said in the other live that I reacted to of Amberlynn's, that was earlier, I was like, it's kind of interesting. No one, like, it's Rachel, Jordy, whoever, because they do sometimes, usually, when there's shit being talked, like, they usually pop up and have shit to say and write. But none of them were in that live.
Right, so Geordie
where Amberlynn was going off about this whole thing, about Rachel, Emily, the whole thing.
That clip. Then Amber went live and Amber said a whole bunch of stuff. I've been given like a TLDR of what happened in both of those live streams, but I haven't watched either of them yet. So I really don't know what was said, but I'm not at that bit yet. So for now, we're going to talk about the Discord and all the stuff you guys want me to address. And then the like Geordie Amber stuff can come in another video or a bit later. But just so you know, so far anyway, that's kind of the context of what happened. One of the main things I need to address is the money. So a bunch of screenshots.
I think Amberlynn said that Rachel gave the video to Jordy. Which I don't know if that's true or not. It's the video of Emily in her car, I guess trying to get space from Amberlynn, and Amberlynn's like, please, just hold it. I saw it.
Were shared, and it's me being very fucking cocky about how much money I've made doing Gorlworld content. Hey guys, I turned this video around pretty quickly, so you might get some editing Rachel bits here and there, and particularly when it comes to
I want to put it to normal speed. I want to hear this part.
Showing receipts, because I'm just going to chuck my own voice in over the top. So one of the main things that people have had a problem with is me making this joke about wiping my tears with banknotes. In a minute you'll see I go into a bit more detail about it, but this is it here. So you can see Jawbone, who is a public person, is in the Discord, and he says something about how he's watching Geordie, and Geordie is saying he thinks me offering to pay for receipts is a nothing burger, basically. And then you can see I post a meme of Dave, who is my absolute favourite rapper. New album's amazing, by the way. Anyway, and then I say, love that from Geordie. And then Jawbone says, so you're not really being publicly hung, drawn and quartered. Rest easy, basically. And I say, if
who the fuck cares what Geordie thinks?
Geordie says it's all right, then I'm off the hook. I'll wipe my tears with banknotes. So that is what I said about that. That's the context of all of that.
You guys, it was just a joke. Oh, I'm hilarious.
Obviously,
if you guys were smarter, you would realise what a joke is.
From this one screenshot, it's not immediately clear, but the vibe that Jawbone and I have, I don't know if you guys have seen any of Jawbone's content, but he's a joker. He says things tongue-in-cheek to take the piss, and that is how I spoke back to him.
Some of you need to understand what funny is, what sarcasm is. Have you ever seen Monty Python? Don't you know what funny is?
This Discord, of course, I felt I was among friends, so when I made that comment, I was not talking about Beck. Beck was not relevant to the conversation. People are trying to make it sound like somebody said to me, oh, are you going to give the money to Beck? And I said, oh no, I'd rather wipe my tears with banknotes or some sort of bullshit.
Alright, whatever, just
It's not what happened. The part of the conversation that was relating to Beck was over an hour prior, which I'm going to show you in a second, and this banknote comment had absolutely nothing to do with Beck. I was talking about Geordie, who is also somebody who takes Gorlworld lightly and makes lots of jokes, particularly about being paid lots of money by his viewers on their birthday and things like that. So the context around me saying this line was completely nothing to do with Beck. I understand the timing of it comes across as extremely insensitive because about an hour prior I was deciding what to do with the money, but in a second I'll show you that screenshot and it will make
only if you normally come off like you're not this way
a lot more sense as well, because you'll see that I say at the end of that screenshot, I'll think about it, which I did.
In Amber's last live, she said something like, Geordie and the ankle, blah. And she was like, she said something like, you know, if I said the things they say about me, if I said those things about other people or whatever, people would come after me, they wouldn't think it was funny, but they do it, and because it's about me, it's funny. And I was like, yeah, but they've always been snarky kind of personalities, you know, catty, whatever. That's how they are. You know, so if you're not normally that way, or, you know, and then all of a sudden you start coming across like a snarky asshole, then people raise their eyebrow. They're like, what is this? They think you're fake.
Then go on to do, and obviously I changed my mind. I'll explain a bit more about the Beck stuff and the money in a second. I just really wanted to nip this like vicious lie in the bud that when I made this joke about wiping my tears with banknotes, it had absolutely nothing to do
with know it's because you like money, and go
Beck,
ahead.
whose situation I empathise with so very seriously. They're going through something really shitty and it's just fundamentally untrue.
I'm just like, look, when you made your first post, your super detailed post, that's why I reacted to it. Like, look at it, alright? Maybe you need to read what you posted initially, because that to me says a lot about where your head was at. And this is before the Discord was like all this screenshot bullshit with the Discord was released. You spoke about donating to charity, blah, blah, blah. And then way later in that post, you brought up Beck and the inheritance specifically, but not anything. It just, you didn't think, all right, show me
this comment from me had anything to do with Beck in any way. Of course, the screenshots were shared with no context, which doesn't help because they were like grabs of wider
there's no context. Oh my God, she's starting.
Conversations. I mean, we would talk like all day about a certain thing. So one screenshot of one section of a conversation doesn't really help anyone to.
All right, I feel the same. How about I feel the same way about a lot of the things then you've been showing as receipts about Amberlynn and Emily. Dun dun dun.
Of understand where people were coming from, and there's lots of little lines in various messages that people are obsessing over, but they don't know what was said prior which got the person to say that, so the context is missing. No Gorlworld content creator who pulls any number of views is only doing it for the love. People don't sit in their office and edit for like hours and hours and hours a day just for fun. They do it to make money, and every content creator, if you ask them if they're honest about it, they'll say,
not by me, where it's low budget productions, I don't edit shit, I'm more lazy than Chantal and Amberlynn combined. Yeah, I'm more snarky than the ankle. No,
I'm doing this to make money. One of the reasons anyway.
I wouldn't mind making some money though, you're right about that. But I wouldn't sell my soul and date Emily. But tell me more.
To make money. Now, and it's absolutely true that is one of the reasons I make these videos. The person who revealed all of this stuff themselves also...
Now, I don't give a shit if what she's saying, like if she does this to make money or would pay someone for an interview at the end of the day. I just don't like that you were messy and lied about it. And again, didn't really watch you before this, and I have no idea how you presented yourself. If you always presented yourself like snarky and such, then okay, then that's who you is. But like, if people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Rachel was talking like that,"
said the same thing.
Then yeah, who is you then? Who is you? This is just my personality to make money up here, you guys. I edit for hours to give you this riveting content and receipts.
Screenshots said it's going to be a good November for me. So that person also does it for the money and was super excited to get all of these screenshots because it meant that they would make a lot of profit in November.
Just like Amberlynn says, they're just like me. They're no better than me. We're all the same pieces of shit.
Which is exactly what I did when I got all of those screenshots from Emily. So just to point that out, the difference is that I absolutely ran my mouth in the Discord and was like, oh yeah, I've made loads of money talking about this. Now, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I've made profit. I don't think anyone...
The difference is I talked about it in Discord.
...should be ashamed of that. I'm genuinely not, because, anybody who puts hours and hours and hours into something...
I worked really hard for that.
I think is perfectly fine and well within their rights to be pleased.
And so does Georgie, so back off.
That they're being paid for their work. What's not fine is me saying a bunch of stuff like, oh, I'm going to wipe my tears with banknotes. The context of that conversation and all of those conversations...
I personally don't give a shit if you said that, if that's normally how you are.
...where I was getting so much shit for offering Emily money to get tea.
No, you're getting shit for offering Emily money because you weren't honest about it until you had to be. Do you understand that? You're starting to sound more and more like this person you say you hate, Amberlynn, every second. Stop it.
Out of her, tea or receipts out of her, and everybody was really, really mad at me. I was trying to make myself feel better about the situation, and I completely admit and accept it doesn't look good at all, and it's true. So I can't say anything about that.
It doesn't look good because it's not good.
Absolutely said some very unfunny, uncouth...
And you're not making yourself look better, so you better show me some receipts.
...jokes about how much profit I had made from this. That's what I said.
Just step up and be like, I'm a snarky bitch.
That's why I said it. In the Discord, I discussed with people when this all happened. I think it's the 23rd of October. You can see a screenshot where I am saying giving the money to Beck doesn't feel right. I'm not sure what to do about it. If I give it to a charity, I can write it on.
Yeah, this is what you need to speak on. Tell me about this. Explain this.
On my tax
philosophy major.
And it's absolutely true. I did say that stuff. So when I made my community post, all those top comments were people saying, give the money to Beck, give the money to...
I'm surprised you didn't pull a Chantel and say, this is AI generated. It's crazy what AI can do these days.
Beck. And I was like, that feels icky, because if I'm taking money that I got by sharing somebody else's DV story and then I give it to Beck, that just felt strange to me. It made me feel uncomfortable.
What the fuck are you even saying? Alright, let's stop. Someone explain to me in the comments if what she just said right there makes any sort of sense. We're gonna listen again, because who do you think you're talking to?
Absolutely true. I did say that stuff. So when I made my community post, all those top comments were people saying, give the money to Beck, give the money to Beck. And I was like, that feels icky, because if I'm taking money that I got by sharing somebody else's DV story and then I give it to Beck, that just felt strange to me. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not going to fucking lie about that.
Alright, whatever she just said right there makes no sense to me. What, in my opinion, Beck was with Amberlynn for what, 3 years? I never heard Beck talk about or describe being, physically... Did she ever describe being like what we saw in the text that, about the Amberlynn Emily thing? What that was, that whole that whole situation. But Beck I think most people feel like what she went through with Amberlynn was a situation of DV. And mentally being tortured with Choosy, just having to play Choosy alone is so, like, you know, next level, like what Beck went through for 3 years, not 3 months, all right? Well, you were defending Emily, all right, in my opinion, in your videos. But, for that reason, specifically, you should feel comfortable giving it to Beck, right? Do I sound crazy? I don't understand what she just said. What she just said was some, like, gaslighting weird shit.
At first, this is on the 23rd of October, when I was having this conversation, I was like, is Beck even going to want that money? Is that going to make Beck feel uncomfortable?
I'm sure Beck, I'm sure Beck's going to be like, no, don't give me that money. I don't want it. I don't want that dirty money. I'm going through all this shit right now, financially. Doesn't she have, like, a donation thing because of all the stuff she's going through? Is this bitch being serious right now?
Do I actually want to give money from one ex to a different ex? It all just felt a bit icky.
It feels icky. It's dirty. Very dirty. You are full of shit. This chick, in my humble opinion, this is the biggest pile of caca I've ever smelt in my life.
I was very conscious.
It's like, I feel like I'm watching Chantal fought for 20 minutes. Like, I'm stuck in a... Are you an idiot? Are you sure you have a degree in philosophy? Are you serious?
Mud, and I was like, is this just flinging further mud?
Is it just me? Is it just me, guys? You gotta tell me.
Just putting myself more into the situation, and I didn't want to do it. I felt really uncomfortable.
Personally, I think everything you said just now, it's like you have a shovel in your hand. In my opinion, you're just burying yourself deeper in the literal diarrhea.
Hi, me again. So this is the screenshot you can see on the right-hand side here.
I don't know, is it just me?
You'll see in a second. When
What the hell did I just
filming
hear?
The script, I hadn't grabbed these screenshots yet, which is why I keep having to get myself editing Rachel to come in and talk about this.
Did it freeze? What's going on?
You can see on the right-hand side. You can see on the right-hand side here. This is, you'll see in a second, when I was actually filming this script, I hadn't grabbed these screenshots yet, which is why I keep having to get myself editing Rachel to come in and talk about this. But you can see on the right-hand side there, that's the conversation I was having, and this is the part of the Discord where I was discussing...
She does this in her videos. Is this the amazing editing you guys are talking about?
...to do. Should I give it to Beck? Should I give it to a charity? And I explain here that I feel uncomfortable, and you can see there's a message where...
Because it makes me feel ick, like I just explained. And also the text right off.
I say it feels cleaner to give it to charity. That's what I'm referring to there. It just felt like I was getting even...
Listen, just shut the fuck up. Everything you're saying right now, did you watch this before you posted it?
More entangled by giving...
You wrote a script to do this what I'm watching now? You wrote this, or was this Chat GPT? Like, you need to get, like... Yeah, this is not good.
Money to Beck. This is before I had gone through the thought process and changed my mind.
This doesn't sound like an apology to me, if it was meant to be.
Just to be really clear, the date is very visible on the screenshot.
She should have just come up here and been like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I would have had more respect for her.
You can see this is prior to me making the video.
And Emily's my new girlfriend.
Made later, where I told everyone, oh no, I've actually made the decision.
She's irresistible. I love her. Fuck you, Amber.
And in a minute, I'll tell you more about how I came to that decision. And if you look at the bottom of this screenshot here, you can see the last message is me saying, I'll think about it, which I absolutely did go on to do, because obviously I changed my mind. You can also see the timestamp on the screenshot says 7:30. So this is like an hour before the comment about wiping my tears with banknotes. And by the time we got to that part
You're way over explaining this. You know what I don't like? When people... This is just... look, I don't know, whatever, feel whatever you want about this. Personally, when people put, like, hella too many details in a story, Makes me raise an eyebrow.
And was not about Beck whatsoever. Just to make it very clear to everyone, although these were on the same Discord, the two messages were completely unrelated.
I get it, you like money.
I don't know if Beck's even going to want it. Amber owes Beck the inheritance money, and I think Amber needs to pay Beck back.
Amber owes her the money, not me. And I worked hard and edited for hours to make this video for you, this riveting content, and get these receipts. You know how much I had to flirt with Emily?
That was my knee-jerk gut reaction when that all first happened.
That's my money.
I was like, this feels a little bit strange to me, okay? But then...
Fuck Beck. It's my money.
I reread my community post, I reread all of you guys' comments, and I was like, no, it actually does make sense for me to give this money to Beck. And
because if I don't do that, the reason, you guys, the very logical reason is that's the right thing to do. So I realised after reading all your comments, even though you put up that big hope, alright, whatever, I stand by what I said about your fucking post.
Reason that it made sense, and this is why I changed my mind, and this is the main reason I changed my mind. I saw this comment, I don't know if I'll be able to find it.
You change your mind a lot, don't you? And you got a lot. I wonder who left the comment. It really made me change my mind. Oh, I should go find it. Let me post it here. Let me use my editing skills.
Be able to, but somebody said,
let me earn that money, honey.
Mention Beck as one of your reasons for offering Emily money in the first place, and that is why you should give it to Beck, because you literally mention Beck in this post. And I was like, you're totally right, I do.
You're totally right. I can't believe I was so stupid, the philosophy major, to make such a silly mistake. I thought you guys would see that and just see it over Amberlynn and how Amberlynn owes the money. Amberlynn really owes that money that you guys. When I talked about charity, I meant the charity of Rachel. Rachel's Christmas charity.
In the post, and when I made this initial offer to Emily about the finance video, I say to her, this will be so fucking good because it will help.
Actually, the money should go to Emily because that's who you promised it would go to when you got all these receipts. Alright? And I don't even like Emily, but that's what this whole thing is so stupid.
Other exes who've been screwed over financially by Amber because, like Beck, for example, who is owed the inheritance money back. So my impetus for offering Emily this money
you're a real genius. You're really showing how smart you are here.
So that she would make the finance video with me, send me all of the proof.
Who the fuck is... I gotta see the comment section.
Being a tight ass and all the other stuff, which I never actually got. But the point is that my goal was to kind of help the other exes and be like, guys, look, Beck's not the only one she owes money to. That was my goal, right? So when I read this comment, I was like, oh, yeah, that was what I was trying to do. That was the point of it. And it made me realise, oh, yeah, of course I should give the money to Beck. And then Beck also made a further community post where they talk about their surgery and such.
Wow. I feel like that post came out a minute ago. I mean, isn't your whole life making these videos and shit about Amberlynn and I don't understand. You're the only person that didn't know what was going on with Beck. I don't even pay full attention, and I knew what was going on with Beck. I don't feel like this is making this person look this is making you look hella worse.
And I was like, oh yeah, ding ding ding, light bulb moment, it makes complete perfect sense to give this money to Beck. So I changed my mind, and I decided...
You changed your mind, because if you look in the comment section of that post, unless the comments were deleted, it was just flooded with like, give it to Beck, give it to Beck, give it to Beck. And I did a react to it, and I said right away, anyway, this is bullshit.
Oh yeah, of course I'll give it to Beck. That makes perfect sense. So in that screenshot that you've seen, where I'm saying, oh, it feels kind of icky, I'm not sure about doing that, I don't think I want to.
She must think you guys is really stupid. The shit she's saying here.
And also I mentioned the tax benefit of it all. That was before...
She don't think I'm stupid because... because anyone with any common sense watching this? Seriously? What is you saying to me?
Or I had gone through that thought process. So, yeah, there is a screenshot out there of me saying...
This is so much fucking word salad. Let me get my vinaigrette.
I don't know if I'm going to give this money to Beck. It feels wrong, because that is how I felt at one point. And so the timing of all of this has been like purposefully twisted by this individual to try and make me look as bad as possible, when actually what happened was not like this at all. For example, this person's made this comment where they say Beck shares detailed updates about their devastating medical and financial situation. Rachel blames Beck for making a deal to pay thousands to an active death feeder who's publicly gifting food to dying addicts, and then implies that it'd be icky and unethical. So the timing of what happened there is...
What do you mean, da-da-da? Let me finish. Beck shares detailed updates about their devastating medical and financial situations. Rachel blames Beck for making a deal to pay thousands to active who is publicly grifting food money to food then implies it'd be icky and unethical. Icky and unethical to help Beck. Instead, when she reneged on her promise to pay Emily, that's what I just said, and said she wouldn't personally benefit from denying Emily her cut, then says to her peers that she actually wanted a tax write-off from Emily's cut. Cool. Just read the whole thing, man.
Completely wrong. So Beck made their community post 5 days ago, and I
wanted to come up, this is from Kinda Good, Kinda Beck. I wanted to come on here and let everyone know how thankful I am for the support I've been given throughout this year. It's been one of the hardest of my life. And you guys have made sure that I haven't felt alone. I've had so many people tell me they're thinking of me or praying. Read more. Why didn't you show the whole thing? Now I have to go and see. Does she speak about what she was going through physically and such in this specific post that she's not showing fully? Why aren't you showing the whole post?
Those comments in the Discord on the 23rd of October, which was way before Beck had given this update. I also did not blame Beck whatsoever. I said,
so she's saying it way before the Discord. 5 days ago. I don't see the exact date, so 5 days before the 23rd of October.
That Beck could benefit from everybody knowing that Amber also abused financially another ex, which is absolutely true. But obviously when you...
What? Is she like Beck would benefit from knowing? What does Beck care? Beck has bigger issues going on. Beck doesn't give a shit. You know, every time I feel like Rachel says Beck's name just to rile people up. It's like a trigger word because people get really pissed about what happened to Beck and what's going on with her currently.
5 days ago, and I made those comments in the Discord on the 23rd of October, which was way before Beck had given this update. I also did not blame Beck whatsoever. I said that Beck could benefit from everybody knowing that Amber also abused financially another ex, which is absolutely true. But
listen, just shut the fuck up. I don't need you to fucking, she financially, what, what that person wrote in that last thing, to Emily for driving her home. Like, where's the receipts? And who gives a fuck?
When you lay it out like this, it sounds like that would be really awful if that's what happened, but that's absolutely not what happened. Those comments that you can see me make in the Discord where I'm not sure what to do were made before Beck made their post on their community tab, just to be really fucking
clear. You're overly explaining things
so I made
that don't
that
need
decision,
to be...
and I had further conversations.
This is filler. This is what they call filler content.
In that same Discord where I said, guys, I think this is what I'm going to do. But those screenshots weren't shown. So it's just kind of funny to me that only bits that make me look really bad have been...
This is funny to you?
Shown. There was all this...
It's only the things that make me look bad, but it all looks
parts
bad.
Of the Discord where you can see me being like, oh, I don't know what to do. Is this the right thing? I don't want to be a dick. So there was loads of that, which never got shown. Only little bits that make me look really fucking bad were shown with no fucking context. So anyway, that is what happened there. I discussed it all, and that's what you can see.
Well, show it all. You don't have screenshots. You don't have receipts.
There, it's before
the queen of receipts
made the decision, and it's me umming and ahhing, and I absolutely did. I totally did.
I think more are supposed to come out. I can't wait to see it.
I did not know what to do, but I landed on the right decision in the end. And the comment that I make about the tax break is absolutely true. If I had donated that money directly to a domestic violence charity in the UK, not only could I have gift aided the donation, so 25% would be added to it by the UK government, but I could also have written that off on my taxes. I could have deducted that amount from my profit on my taxes.
He's cold, beaten, smart, you fucking dingbats.
I absolutely could have, but that doesn't matter. What matters is doing the right thing with the money. But the point is that I absolutely did have that thought process. But as I've said, this was before I made the final decision.
You know, the whole point is to do the right thing with the money.
So
like
I just think it's important, and I do think it matters that I decided the right thing in the end. People are allowed to go through.
Listen, I don't give a shit. Come up here and say, I think I deserve all that money, because it seems like that's how you actually feel. Just say what you fucking feel.
Thought process. They're allowed to spitball their ideas and thoughts off the people around them before they come to a decision.
It would be so much easier than all this word salad bullshit.
That is healthy. What is not healthy is taking screenshots of that conversation, sharing them, and trying to spin a different point of view.
So basically, the person who took the screenshots and made her look bad when there's not enough context for her to be like, I'm not bad. It was just one moment throughout, like a huge conversation. So, I don't know. You're saying if I saw the whole conversation, I'd be like, oh, I would totally think it's funny, or I totally get it. Like, you're still a greedy asshole, like, and a liar.
Don't know the context and haven't seen the wider conversation. A final point on the Beck stuff as well is that I've reached out to Beck both on Instagram and on YouTube, and they have not replied to me. So I'm a little bit nervous of what to do, because I could just PayPal the money over, but then Beck will just receive this random money and be like,
maybe Beck, and then she'd be like, oh, I don't know where it came from. I want her to know it came from me, Rachel the angel, the super honest, amazing editor, creator, and philosophy major. Hello. Maybe Beck didn't answer because she's busy dealing with things going on in her real life. All right, you asshole.
Unexpectedly, and I don't know if that could have certain problems for them. I don't know if they get any benefits or anything, and if receiving a...
Are you being an idiot? Stop being an... Look at your dumb face. Stop being a fucking... an idiot.
Chunk of money might be an issue. I guess on PayPal it would be fine. But yeah, Beck has not replied to me, so I am like not sure what to do about that. I'm going to give them the money, don't worry. But the question is like, how? And Beck hasn't even said...
I'm going to give them the money, don't worry. I just said that they have a PayPal. But I don't know, like, how will I give them the money? What shall I ever do? What shall I do? Whatever shall I do? You... Anonymously. Can't you just anonymously donate the money on PayPal? And if you can't, and you're so worried that, oh my god, if it's coming from me and it's from this video, she may not want it. Are you serious right now? Stop it. Stop it. I'm seeing that, like, Michael Jordan meme. Stop it. Get some help. Alright? Stop. Anyone who listens to this and doesn't understand that she's totally full of shit right now, stop it and get some help. Alright?
If they for sure want the money. So if anybody has like a way to contact Beck, that would be awesome.
I'm struggling with all these health problems in life in general. Shit is hard for me. We all know this. Like, that's why I wish she would have shown the full back post. Like, read more. What else was in that? Because obviously you read that, right? You saw it. So I need to see if Beck talked about what was going on, like, specifically in her life. Because we all know what's going on. Alright? She's struggling before that with the car issue. Listen. Just stop acting like you don't know what's going on.
Get me in.
Miss Smarty Pants.
The money is going to Beck, which is the right decision. I stand by that
decision.
decision.
If you're so worried about, like, it coming from you or this or that, you can have someone else donate it through the PayPal. She has the PayPal for a reason. Stop being full of shit. I also
stand by the fact that I went through a thought process to come to that decision, and when that money is given to Beck, I will absolutely tell everyone. There is a lot of stuff that still needs to be covered. We've done the Discord, and now we're going to get into some of the other things. So number one is
If you were really a good person, you would just do it. You don't have to tell anyone. Just... I get it now because everyone's going to question this money specifically, but even still, like... Just, oh my god.
Screenshots have been shared that show...
Don't worry, I'm gonna do the right thing and I'll make sure to show you receipts to prove it.
I flirted with Emily to get the tea. And I did say that. The screenshots are real, as I've already said. And I think this is kind of funny, and I'm going to just touch on this now. So, I wanted the tea. I run a Gorlworld YouTube channel, so...
I just want to know, are you in love with Emily? Are you in love with Emily? Are you in love with Emily? Just tell me that.
getting receipts and proof about one of the girls is super, super valuable to me. It's valuable monetarily, obviously, because I make profit off the videos. All of that stuff is super valuable. My goal,
as you guys know, because I love money,
is to analyze the girls the best way I possibly can. So in order to
do a lot of editing here.
That
I deserve that money.
Want to see the proof, and I'm not going to lie about that. I absolutely do. And it is completely true that during my texting with Emily, I was much kinder to her than I might have otherwise been. I was much nicer. I was much more jokey. I sent some winky face. Actually, I don't even know
if you guys end up seeing any of these receipts from Tommy, Emily, provoked out my future ex-girlfriend Emily, just know. Yeah, I was nice, because that's what you gotta be when you want to make the money.
Winky faces, but I definitely was somewhat more amenable to her than
you could have been like a professional journalist. You could have approached it in that way and just been professional.
Could have been, because I wanted her to feel comfortable with me and give me all of the proof, right? I don't think anybody is going to send somebody else like 150 screenshots.
The way it was presented, it was like Emily wanted to give this information. The way you put it in the first post, she gave you X, Y, and Z and said you had full consent to do this. Is what you wrote. X, Y, and Z was given to me by Emily to do whatever I wanted with consent. That's it. Boom. That's what you said. So there was no reason, the way you were presenting it, to flirt with her, offer her money. So you lied from the beginning. Just be honest that you lied.
Videos, various other stuff, without
the money.
Making them feel comfortable.
And you feel
so
you
I describe
it,
that as flirting on Discord, and I probably stand by that. I definitely did flirt with her.
And I personally don't give a shit if you do feel that way, but just be honest about it. Stop giving me this word salad shit.
I don't give a fuck about that. I think flirting so that you can make more money is totally normal. People do it when they're bartenders, burlesque dancers.
Alright, you're naming very specific, hookers, prostitutes. Not if you're like, alright,
So
you're making a lot of excuses for things.
Many different professions. You'll be a bit nicer than you want to be to somebody.
You could just say, like, I flirted with her. Like, I'm not a professional journalist. I approached it in a certain way. I wanted info. I thought it would be nice to butter her up and be. See, now now I want to see. What kind of how nice were you to Emily?
Because you're trying to get ahead in your career. This is one thing that I'm not gonna.
So you're a brown noser. You're like Salah. You like the poop.
Because I think that flirting with somebody is literally no big deal. I think that people having a huge problem with me flirting with somebody a tiny bit to get more information.
I don't have a problem. I don't think it's that people have a problem with you flirting in general. It's that you're flirting with this very specific person that you yourself just showed you did a video on 10 months ago. Alright? Alright? Outing. Their whole thing. Their ex. Everything. All that stuff. That's why you dingbat. Why are you talking to us like we're morons?
Kind of weird. Like, why do you care who I flirted with? Now I understand. The argument is that she's a death feeder, and that's why I shouldn't have flirted with her.
Oh, what I just said. Yeah, but, you know what I mean. Money, you guys. Yeah, explain that.
If you saw this alleged flirting, you'd be like, oh, because it was literally nothing. I just personally think that it's no big deal. If you feel that it's a huge deal, that's cool. That's your opinion, and you're genuinely within your rights to have that. And
I would like to see it now that I'm fucking waist deep in this fucking bullshit.
I support you having a different opinion from me, right? Because that's what life is all about. I'm not trying.
Thank you. Oh, thank you for supporting my difference of opinion. I appreciate that, actually.
To be in an echo chamber, but I just want to say my view on my own actions in that situation is that me flirting with somebody to get more tea is really no big deal, and it happens in a multitude of jobs. And if you think it doesn't,
it happens in my life because I'm basically full of shit and I wear a mask. And just be honest.
Objectively wrong. People have said all kinds of wild and hilarious things about me and Emily falling in love. I think a lot of that was said in Amber's live, which I'm going to react to probably in my next video. But it's absolutely not true. I have a hard line that I'm not.
I mean, I figured Emily wasn't really. You're not big enough for Emily, and also I assumed whatever flirting might have happened on your part was, like just to butter her up.
talking about my girlfriend. That is nobody's business. I do not choose to monetize information about my girlfriend or make my girlfriend public. So it is a hard line for me that I will not be discussing my
If you guys don't sleep in the same bed, I don't judge that. I share that. I prefer my own sleeping space unless we're leave me alone.
Friend, my relationship. But what I will say is that this speculation that Emily and I fell in love or anything like that is absolutely laughable. And that is not what happened. But when
Alright, well, thanks for clearing that up. Because that's really what I cared about. Because I'm nosy.
React to Amber's live, I think I'll talk more about that then, because I think she's the one who tried to kind of peddle that narrative, so we'll talk about that later. Hello, I had the section where I talk about Beck a bit later in the video, but I've ended up grabbing that section and moving it backwards, so now I talk about my screenshots between myself and Emily, but just to make it clear, there's a little like awkward cut here because I moved the Beck section to be in line with the rest of the money section because the structure of the video made no sense. So now I'm about to start talking about my decision to not give the money to Emily and the discussion that I had with Emily. In this Discord, I shared screenshots of the conversation between myself and Emily where I tell her that I'm not going to be giving her the money. Someone has threatened to share these screenshots and they're getting all high and mighty and excited that they've got these screenshots, so I'm going to show them to you instead, and then that person can talk about them if they want to, just like every other reactor is maybe going to. I personally think it's quite fucking boring. I'm going to show you them and you can do with them what you will. So here they are. I've just realised whilst editing that there are two screenshots which I somehow didn't cover in the video, so I'm just going to pop them here for you now. So this is the part of the conversation where I tell Emily that I'm not going to be giving her the money, basically. So this is the start of the conversation. Emily got annoyed at me and was like, why did you unfollow me? Which I didn't. It was kind of strange. By this point in time, she had changed her profile picture and stuff and deleted everything on her Instagram. So you can see in the right hand side screenshot, I thought that I had been blocked, so I didn't bother replying. But you can see here my reasoning for not giving her the money. So I say, I didn't unfollow you, I've been following you for over a year. I understand why you feel frustrated, but my worry is that I cannot trust that you won't go back and talk to Amber because you've done that.
She was following her for over a year, huh?
And I will look like a total mug for having defended you. And that's what I say, I've showed your side of the story to basically everyone in Gorlworld, which has worked to your benefit. You threatened to go to reaction channels when you spoke with Amber, and now you've done it. That was another dig from me because I saw in the screenshots, I kind of realised in the screenshots, she literally threatens Amber by saying, oh, I'm going to go to reaction channels. And I was like, oh, lol, that's exactly what she did. And then I say, and it's benefited you by getting your proof out there, which is what you wanted. I've put my reputation on the line to get the truth out because I wanted to support a DV victim. This has always been about getting the truth out via proof. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm on the side of proving what really happened. That's what I've always said. And then Emily says, I understand. I know you don't trust my word, but I'm not going back to Amber. I'm not sure who is telling you I'm talking to her, but clearly they're trying to stir the pot. That wasn't the case. There was absolutely proof that they were talking. And then obviously Amber, I think Amber had already done this at this point. She deleted her videos about Emily and posted that community post. So it was very obvious the two of them were talking again. And I was like, girl, I've literally made all these videos sharing your side of the story, and I've believed you when you've told me that you're this awful victim of this terrible abuse, and now here you are back in bed with Amber. It was just really disingenuous, and I was like, what the heck? Emily says, I'm putting this entire chapter of my life behind me. I've been hurt by her, which is hilarious because they're literally still talking now, which is just mad. And then Emily says, thank you for telling my side of the story. I truly do appreciate it. So that's proof there that she was grateful that I let her put her voice note in my video. She was pleased with the video. She was glad that her side of the story, her version of events, got out via the voice note. And then she asks me, are you still going to go through with your word to split the AdSense with me? I'm going to assume you're ghosting me now. And I say, hey, sorry, I thought I was blocked. She then sent me this voice note where she claims that she's not the one who privacy struck Alex's shook, which I have no idea if that's true, but then you can see that this is my reply to that, and then I'll let main video Rachel pick back up. There's this screenshot. This is the first one. I think there's 9 of them, so we'll get through them. They are honestly boring, but we'll talk about it. So here's the conversation. We'll start here. So Emily told me that she is not the one who's making the privacy complaints. That's what she said, and then this is my response, and this is where we are. So I say, no worries, I think you should make a public statement on your own platform to inform people that it wasn't you who made the privacy complaints. I think our communications have skewed my judgment and impartiality towards the situation, and I think it's best we stop speaking. And that's absolutely true. She was telling me all kinds of stuff about herself, about Amber, and it was getting very difficult to tell what was true and what wasn't true. And having her in my ear whilst I was trying to make content for you guys was just weird, and it felt uncomfortable. And when I say that it skewed my judgment and impartiality, what I meant was the fact that I wanted more tea from her meant that I couldn't be as critical about her as I wanted to, as I've already told you guys. So that's what I mean when I say that. And I say it's best we stop speaking. By the way, just to be clear, this is the last conversation Emily and I ever had. You're going to get up to and including the end of the conversation. So I say, while I understand this decision will be disappointing to you, I can't in good faith pay you for the video where I shared your story because I heavily suspect that you had other motives for speaking to me besides getting your story out as a DV victim. I feel I've been a pawn in a bigger game between you and Amber, and that my good intentions have been somewhat used. That's the reasoning that I gave her. I thought I was sharing her story, but actually that's not really what was going on. She was using me and my channel and my angle to try and attack Amber. She didn't actually want to get her story out, clearly, because she was still in fucking cahoots with Amber, which just pissed me off, because I was like, don't talk to me about how you're such a victim and you feel so awful, and then run back and have a chin wag with the person who did it to you. The whole thing just felt strange. So I say, in light of the recent developments, I know it would be a disappointment to my audience, and I can't be sure confirmation of any payment wouldn't end up getting back to Amber and then be used against me. I'm pleased we were able to show the proof to the audience, but I don't think it's appropriate for me to make a payment to you. Instead, I will make a donation to a charity. I have to safeguard my integrity with my audience. This is something I'm not willing to risk. Thank you for understanding, and I wish you all the best. Now that obviously, it makes me look like a total idiot, because I'm saying here that I want to safeguard my integrity with my audience, and that's absolutely true. I knew that if you guys knew that I had paid Emily for this, that you would be so angry with me. There was no way I was going to pay her. And then Emily says, then I want the video.
Listen, you need to... Alright, you should have just, again, been honest about this from the beginning. And you weren't, because you knew your audience would freak out. You should have just been like, look, I'm getting this tea, but in order to do so, I'm making a deal with Emily. So if you guys don't want to watch this or whatever, I understand. Or don't want to support the video, I understand. You know, you could have just been transparent.
Taken down, because it's done nothing but cause me problems. I'm not going to make a statement. I'm not posting anything to social media. I'm being harassed. People are calling my family. Everyone is talking about me, about reporting me now, because Hector Kana posted about it, and now you're not staying true to your word. How would you like if someone did that to you? I feel like I've been used and exploited. I'm not talking to Amber. This is just your excuse to go back on your word. Unbelievable. So that she says she's being harassed and she wants the video taken down. When I posted the video, Emily was pleased with it. She was completely fine with the video when she thought she was being paid, and then when she realised she wasn't going to get paid, suddenly she blamed the video for her being harassed, which is completely unfair. She says, you say you're sharing a victim story, then turn around and not believe me after you make money off me, all while you're worried about your reputation. Come on, Rachel. She had no problem with anybody making any money, all the while she thought she was getting some of it. As soon as I said, sorry, it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even like Emily, but yeah, you made an agreement. She gave you whatever. And you reneged. Because all of a sudden you were like, "Hey, my audience would be so upset if they know the money would go to her." But you made a deal with her.
To you, she clearly feels that she's been screwed over. And you guys know what happened. And I say, as stated prior, I feel a similar way. My intention was to share your story.
It's just funny how she'll over-explain certain things that don't really matter, but then something like that, she's like, you guys understand.
Which has been achieved. You receiving a payment from me will have no tangible effect to your complaints above, which I sympathise with, talking about her being harassed or whatever. The purpose of this was for you to clear up information and share your story, not to make a profit. I do not in any way support you being harassed, doxxed, or having your family contacted. I have not contributed towards or encouraged this behaviour. A donation of half the total AdSense of this video, less 19% for taxes, will be made to a domestic violence charity. I will not benefit financially from this decision. So, as I say, I was going to give it to charity. That's what I wanted to do, okay? Emily did not want that money to go to charity. No matter what Amber tells you, that is not the case. And you can see it here. Emily says, Rachel, I need to be very clear. I did not consent for my personal experience to be used for profit or public content without fair compensation. You agreed there will be a payment in connection with the video, and I participated in good faith under that understanding. Redirecting that payment elsewhere without my consent does not remove your obligation to compensate me. This video has... So I'll pause there for a second. So she doesn't want the money to go to charity. She wants the money, okay? Which, you know, cool. She's trying to make it sound here like she didn't give consent for the clip, the voice note, sorry, not the clip, the voice note, and her side of the story to be used for content without compensation. That's not true. She gave me full consent to share the voice note prior to the misunderstanding which then followed, where we changed our agreement and I said, oh, it's fine, don't worry, we'll just split this upcoming video. But that upcoming video was already in...
Now, from the way Emily's presenting it, unless I'm misunderstanding, it's like something was promised from the beginning. That's where that's where it gets a little...
And I already had consent, as I said in my community post. So she's trying to make it sound here like she only let me use the voice note because I agreed to pay her. That is not what happened. She was already letting me use the voice note, and then the agreement was moved to split the money from a finance video, and we said, oh, it's okay, we'll just split this upcoming video instead, which was already existing, and I already had consent for that video. She then says this video has directly led to harassment and harm, including people contacting my family. That's not true. She was being contacted already. She thanked me for the video when I made it. As soon as she realised she's not getting paid paid, she's mad about it. She says it has not been beneficial to telling my story, which is not true because I literally played a voice note of her voice. So if that's not sharing her story, I literally don't know what is. She says you just acknowledged that used my story, generated AdSense income, and that I've asked for it to be taken down. Continuing to keep it public while refusing payment is both unethical and a misuse of my story. Then I say, I reply shortly, I'm just about to go into blank and can't reply for a few hours. I'm not ignoring you and I will send a reply. If these screenshots get shared by another party and that word is not blanked out, I am going to be absolutely fucking livid, because that covered up word there is a very private, very personal thing that I do in my spare time, and if that gets out because some person doesn't know how to edit a screenshot, I am going to be, or how to respect somebody else's genuinely private matters that have got nothing to do with the internet, I will be absolutely livid. And so I just hope that whoever shares these screenshots, if they've got, because I know they're out there, if you don't cover up that word, you're just a fucking loser. Emily says, I'll be waiting for your response. And then I come out and I say this: Hi Emily, I've genuinely been considering your request, which is true. However, I believe taking down this video will open you up to further unwanted discussion and speculation, which it did. As soon as I privated that video, she got so much shit, and so did I. Everybody was like, why are you making her take this video down? You already gave consent. That's what I was trying to avoid when I said, let's just leave it now, let's not private the video. But she wanted it privated. I say, I think it would be best for this money to go to DV victims who will benefit from it. If you still have concerns about the video being public, I'm sure YouTube has a process you can follow. Rest assured, the aforementioned donation will still be made. So that's me basically saying to her, if you want the video down, you can privacy strike it. She then says, Rachel, I need to be very clear about how wrong this is. I shared my personal story and details with you under the agreement that I would be compensated. So that is not true. I was sent her story, the screenshots, the voice note, ages and ages before any mention of money was ever made. So that is not true. Then she says, that was part of the understanding from the start. Again, not true. You assured me multiple times that I would be. I also made it clear that without that agreement, it would not be worth it for me to share something so personal and painful.
I need to see, I hear that you're like reacting to what Emily wrote, but I want to see what you wrote back to Emily. Like, did you write back to Emily what you're saying here?
That's just completely not true. You went forward, used my story publicly, then decided after the video was posted to take that agreement back. That is not acceptable. You shared private information about me under a false sense of trust and benefit. This is not about speculation or donations. It's about ethics and respect. You profited from my vulnerability and are now trying to frame it as something else. I'm asking you to take accountability and make this right. Her trying to say that this whole thing was me profiting from her vulnerability, I think is kind of wild because she's the one who...
Again, I need to see what you wrote back to Emily in response to this. This is what Emily, I feel, shared, or was... I saw it in one of the reaction videos with the Discord messages, was this supposed message from Emily to Rachel, where it insinuates that she was always promised from the get.
Wanted all of this stuff out there. That's why people speak to reaction channels, right? They want to get things out. So saying I profited from her vulnerability, I don't feel that that is an accurate characterization of what happened there. And then
you need to show me what you wrote back to her. I don't care what you're saying here as you're responding to it. Like,
into the fabulous thinly veiled threats. It's clear you're worried about how this might affect your image and reputation.
Did you show... Was there any messages here, am I tripping, that were from Rachel straight up saying to Emily, we never agreed that I would give you money from the get.
You paid me, but what would actually look worse than agreeing to pay me and then backing out after the video was already posted, all while profiting off it yourself. It doesn't really matter which one looks worse. Paying her was worse, so I didn't do it. And then she says, I'm not looking to make this public.
Paying her, no. You lying about it is worse.
I've kept everything private and respectful with you, but I trusted you to handle this with honesty and integrity, and you have not. You promised compensation for my time and vulnerability. You used my story publicly. You can still make this right, quietly and respectfully. So that, I feel, is her basically trying to say, I'm not trying to make this public, let's keep it quiet. And I feel that, I felt anyway when I read that message, that was her almost threatening to go public with this. And her saying here, you promised compensation for my time and vulnerability. That's not true. I promised compensation for receipts relating to Amber owing Emily money. And then after the fact, I changed my mind and agreed that instead of splitting money on that video, we could just split the money on the upcoming video.
You've repeated that over and over. But again, I don't see a message from you in response to Emily that says, we never agreed that I was going to pay you from the get, but I don't understand. Can you stop word
which, as I've said, was already in motion, already planned, already scripted.
Repeating
so it's absolutely not true that I promised compensation for time and vulnerability. That's not what happened. I don't feel that's what happened. I then say, thank you so much for your response. I'd like to note that I disagree with your characterization of the timing and nature of the agreement. That's what I'm talking about when I say that. Nevertheless, I appreciate you giving me an understanding of your viewpoint on the above message. I then say, please grant me a period of time to think about this situation and decide which action is most suitable. As I've stated, my fear is that your motivations for getting me to make that video were to express a power play over Amberlynn, with whom I believe you're still in regular contact, which they absolutely were still in contact. And I say, I'm not comfortable being a pawn in the mind games between the...
I disagree with your characterization of the timing and nature of the agreement. Nevertheless, I appreciate you giving me an understanding of your viewpoint. I mean, I feel like that wouldn't have been in writing straight up, like, you know, from the get. It's kind of weird. On either end. Alright.
Review, nor am I comfortable financially compensating you for this.
She's not like straight up saying yes, no, you know, yeah, that was said, no, that wasn't. But it's like, no, I make a note. I disagree with your timing of this nature.
I would be far more comfortable donating this money to a good cause. I see that this option is not acceptable to you, which was me trying to dig her out and be like, girl, just let the money go to charity. But she was not okay with that. I then explain, monies accrued in October 2025 are paid by YouTube in November, so there is no rush for a decision. Thank you for your patience. I'll be back in contact in due course. So it's me basically saying...
when you talk about giving to charity, you're talking about giving the half that was promised to Emily to charity, not the whole... Not all of the revenue from that video. You're still keeping your 2 cents there.
Fucking let us give the money to charity, but in the meantime, there's no rush anyway, so let's just leave it at that. So
like, Emily's so awful for not wanting the money that was promised to her to go to charity, but you're keeping the other half. You're not donating it to charity.
To give the money to charity, that was what I was trying to do, and I was saying, either way, there's no rush for a decision, because the money doesn't get paid until November anyway. And then she says, I don't agree with that. What exactly do you mean by characterization of the timing and nature of the agreement? I've already told you guys what I meant by that. The agreement was made before the video was uploaded, and you confirmed that more than once. The video would not have gone live without that understanding. Now that, it could be that it's true, because I already had the video planned and scripted, and she then basically asked me if we could just split this video instead of the finance video, as I keep fucking saying, and I said yes. It's possible if I said, no, I'm not splitting the money on this video, you need to wait for the finance video, she may have said, oh, don't post that video then, but I highly doubt it, because she wanted her side of the story out, and she thanked me after the fact, and that's why I thought she was talking to me in the first place. Obviously, you can see from these conversations, it was never about that, it was about a power play. She says bringing up your own assumptions about my motivations or other people is irrelevant.
For you and her, both of you.
And dismissive, you're basing this off of rumours and no credible sources. That's not true. I knew for a fact that she and Amber were speaking. And then she says, you do not need more time to think about what is right.
I know for a fact they're speaking. Just seeing, just open your... You
made an agreement and you have an obligation to honour it. I expect payment as promised or confirmation that the video will be removed.
Allegedly, in my opinion.
Changing the terms after profiting from my story is not a misunderstanding, it's unethical. I've kept this private out of respect for you, but continuing to deny what was agreed only damages your own credibility. So that is her saying and making it very clear she wants money or she wants the video taken down, and she's basically saying she's keeping this private, and she's saying to me, do one of my 2 options and I will continue to keep this private. And she gave those 2 options. There was absolutely no way that I was going to pay her, so I therefore...
And also, when you make a video private, you lose whatever revenue you would have made from it. Like, you don't get paid if you make money from a video right when the video makes that money. You get it like the next month, like what Rachel was saying. But that doesn't include like super chats if people become members. You know, Rachel made a lot of money by doing these videos. You know, overall separate
the video down, and you can
the revenue just from the video itself.
See, this is what I send. So I privated the video, screenshotted that, circled the private logo, and wrote, you're mischaracterizing the agreement to try and make me look worse than I am. We both know
the thumbnail.
You had given consent for that voice note to be shared before any money was confirmed. At the time, I thought I was agreeing to split money on a finance video with you to help you recuperate lost money from Amber never paying you back, which is the reason that I gave her. But actually, it's because I wanted the fucking tea on Amber being a scumbag when it comes to money. And I say it then became...
I said I was going to give it to you because, you know, you lost money, and she... Alright, yeah.
clear that there was a misunderstanding, at which point I changed my mind and agreed to split this video. And if Emily wants to go there, I've got proof of all of that, but I'm not going to put myself on blast for no reason, but I can prove that if I need to. And then I say, but the consent for the voice note had already been given. Let's leave this here now. The money will still be donated to a domestic violence charity. I then blocked her, and that is the last thing I have ever said to her. So there it is. That's what was said between she and I. If you are angry with me for the things I've said, I understand. That's what happened. That's what I said. It was very clear to me. She wanted the money. She did not want the money to go to charity. It's very clear from those.
From what I see from these messages so far, you're both assholes, and you definitely were not in love with Emily. It doesn't seem like.
Screenshots that is how she felt at that time. I know that these screenshots are going to be discussed and picked apart.
Don't worry, Amberlynn. Rachel's not going to steal your girlfriend. Okay.
People, that's completely fine, but that's what happened, right? That's my point of view, the context, as the person who was in the conversation and said the things. That's what I was thinking when I said them. Other people are obviously going to give their opinion on it because that's what we do in Gorlworld, right? And that's completely fine, but that is what was said and why I said it and what happened, and there you go. It's pretty clear that somebody who was in that initial Discord basically was mad at me because I said that I didn't like other content creators or I thought their content wasn't very good, and you know, we're all allowed opinions, right?
Yeah, I think she said she didn't like Karina Kaboom. Who else did she say? The Ankle. Yeah. Oh, I don't like them. It's my opinion. She doesn't have to like them. But, yeah, it was kind of funny.
That's what the internet's here for. If I think somebody's content is mid and I say it, that's what I said. That's my opinion. And there you go. I'm not going to backtrack on my opinion just because you guys have all seen me say it, right? I think that this has shown that certain people take Gorlworld very, very, very personally. To me, that's not what this is. This isn't personal, you know, I'm reporting and talking and covering on what's going on. This is something I do that makes me money. And also it's something I find very interesting. If someone doesn't like my content, that's completely fine. We're all allowed to have opinions, right? I don't think we need to be attacking other creators and sharing the faces, names and voices of private individuals during that process. But if that's what you want to do, you do you. I personally think it's a little bit strange, and
I like to be strange.
seen the people in this creators Discord, they're all circle jerking and laughing and talking with each other, and it's hilarious because they don't even know how to read a date, and they're all excited, and there's loads of like moral grandstanding going on, and they're all really excited and happy and talking with their Discord buddies about the tea that they've gotten about me, when in fact they didn't actually get very much tea at all, and I just think that's kind of funny. The final thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit now about just my channel, my content, talk to you guys as my viewers. So when this channel started, I started talking about Gorlworld, I started getting views, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, I was literally like, this is crazy, people are watching me, I'm being paid for this, and I had no idea how to handle it, and that is just the complete truth. I was trying to be myself, but I was also very scared. I was like, I don't want people to dislike me, I don't want people to hate me, and I cared a lot what people thought about me, I absolutely did, and I was trying to be myself and be real, because I'm a very direct person. I say what I think, I'm comfortable making people feel uncomfortable if necessary. I'm not shy. If I say something, I generally stand by it. If I'm wrong, I put my hands up and say, I was wrong about that. You know, I love when people disagree with me. One of the biggest markers of me knowing that somebody is a real friend of mine is that they will say to me, you're wrong about that. And I'll be like, oh geez, am I? And that's one thing about my degree is when you study philosophy, you realise that if you live in an echo chamber where you don't take in any new information, you're never willing to consider changing your mind because you don't get any new information, right? That's one thing that I don't do as a person. I genuinely don't. If you want to give me information, I will listen, because I think the more I get, I can then weigh it up and decide what to do with it. And sure, some of my weighing up in this situation might have been a little bit skewed, but at all points during this process, I was trying to do my best. I genuinely was. And I was trying to do it whilst also put myself publicly on a big public platform where thousands of people were watching me for the first time ever, and I fumbled it. I fumbled a lot of things in this situation. And one thing I really want to say to you guys, my viewers, people who are bothering to watch this video, you've watched the whole way through, you're at 1 hour 20 something now, maybe probably cut a lot out, but you're watching me, right? And this is who I am. I just want to say to you guys, I've tried my best to handle this channel the best way I could, but I have absolutely made so many mistakes and I've learned from them. And I'm not going to be like scared off the internet. I'm not going to stop making content. I'm not going to stop covering the girl.
Like this part here, I think this, like, you know, this is more being a real person. All right, maybe she should just put this out, you know, separately, like, if it's meant to be, like, you know, hey, I'm explaining myself, or like a type of apology.
So I'm not going to stop just because I fucked up, but I'm absolutely going to say,
think this, she sounds like a real person.
I fucked up, here's what happened, and if you guys go through this situation, you see everything I've said in this video and whatever else, you know, you weigh up what I've shown you, what you've seen, what I've done, and all of that. If you come to the conclusion then that you don't think my coverage of Gorlworld is valuable to you, or you don't like it, you just don't like me, you don't want to watch it, whatever, that's genuinely completely fine. My goal now is just to be like, this is what I think. Here we are. And if you don't like it and you don't agree, let me know in the comments, by all means, and we can talk about it.
Yeah, the more comments
the one thing I will say and what I will add is I chose this life, right? I chose to insert myself into Gorlworld. I purposefully inserted myself into this community, and Gorlworld gets a bad reputation on the internet. People who don't cover it make one video about Gorlworld and their comments are full of people being like, oh my god, don't do it, you know, don't get into it, it's a total mess. I don't agree. I like Gorlworld. I enjoy the debate and the discussion.
Gorlworld is a hot mess, and I'm here for it.
I know that people in this community, the way this community works is people talk about each other. That's what we do. That's how Gorlworld works. So I made this YouTube channel with my full government face, you know, my name, my face. Here I am giving my opinion. I chose this, right? I'm fine with people talking about...
look, this is my face that I show. I didn't see me show my face.
Whatever they want, because that's what Gorlworld is. If I didn't want to do it and I didn't want to be a part of it and I didn't want people talking about my face, my name, whatever, if I didn't want people talking about me and my takes and what I've done, whatever, in their own communities, then I could just stop making videos. So I'm never going to be angry and butthurt at people, at you, for talking about me in your communities, because that's what I do. I talk about people in my community, right? And I'm comfortable and fine with that discourse because that's what Gorlworld is. And that's why I've made this video, because I actually think the best way to handle this situation...
Alright, so don't get upset when that person releases more messages from that discourse.
It's just be like, there you go, that's what happened. And then you can go talk about it if you indeed want to. I'm going to continue trying my absolute best to apply everything that I've learned from this situation.
You guys want to talk about me? I'm part of Gorlworld now.
To the future, and we'll just have to see what happens, right? But I'm not going to stop making my content.
According to Amberlynn, I'm worse than she is.
And we'll just have to see how you guys take it. So I think some more stuff is probably going to come out.
I'm not big enough for Emily, but I'm not big enough for Gorlworld.
Now, I don't know who's going to release what, I don't know who's going to say what, but we'll just have to see. But what I am probably going to do is watch Amber's live stream with you guys, because I know she says a lot of stuff about me, and I think it might be quite funny for us to cover that. So that's what we're going to do next. Thank you all for listening to what I have to say, and yeah, we'll see what happens now. No idea what's how it's going to go down, but we'll see. I think I'll leave it there. Thanks everyone, and
I think the ending was, like, you came off more genuine. I think if people saw that, they might be a little like, alright, you know, you seem like a real person. But, like, the beginning of this, oh my god, girl, I don't know.
See you next time. Bye.
Some of the stuff you said, I don't know. Alright, if you have thoughts and you want to share them, I'd love to hear about them in the comment section. Alright guys, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching this with me.